Hello everyone and happy Monday. It's time for my weekly draft video of Amonkhet. This is only the second one here on this channel, and we're going to go ahead and jump in this league. Okay, well we have Dusk to Dawn, which is a pretty good card to start a draft with, especially if you don't have like premium removal or something. I need to change this size of the screen a little bit. Luckily I remembered. There we go. So yeah, we have Dusk Till Dawn, and I think that's probably just what we want to take. The rest of the pack, you know, there's fine cards in it. Undercrop Captain's good, but you have to be red-white. Hooded Brawler's a solid green card. Illusory Wrappings is an okay blue removal spell. This is a pretty weak pack on the whole, though. Horror of the Broken Lands might just be the best non-rare card in this pack. I think it might be better than all the uncommons. But we'll take Dusk Till Dawn. It's, you know, obviously a very big spell. You can use it as a board sweeper, and then in the late game you can use it to draw you some cards out of your graveyard. Okay, so here we're past a Fan Bearer, and that's probably just what I'm going to take. Ret Crop Spearmaster is okay. Another Horror of the Broken Lands is interesting. But we're just going to stay white, since Fan Bearer is such a good card anyway. And yeah, I think I'd rather have it than the Ret Crop Spearmaster. It is in fact a creature who survives dusk too, unlike the Spearmaster. I haven't had a chance to play with this yet. I mean, it's early in the format. I'm recording this the same day I recorded the first draft video on this channel, so this is only my fourth or fifth draft of the format, and so I haven't gotten to play with a lot of the rares, obviously. So I've been interested how this will play out. I think I gave it about a B- in my limited review. It's definitely a good card, but we're gonna see just how good here. Well, I like Gravedigger a lot. Desert Cerodon, solid. These cards that are like 6 mana, 6/4s, which would be like not very good in most sets, are actually good here because of cycling. They can do something at both stages of the game, unlike your average 6 mana creature can. I think I'm just going to take Gravedigger though. It is a very good little graveyard engine. Well, not engine, but it gets you something back. Minotaur Sure Shot's okay. Anointed Priest is okay. I do like the Green Monument more than the others. And I could take another white card here and try to stay white. But I think I'm going to take Gravedigger. And that may mean we're in the zombie archetype in general, but we'll see. Black-white is supposed to be zombie heavy. So far we don't have anything that cares about zombies, but we do happen to have 2 of them, so we're in the right place. Okay. Blighted Bat is a solid card. I think I'd probably just take Trial of Ambition. It's not great, you know, or ambitious really, but it's fine. That sacrifice trigger's good. There aren't creature tokens running amok in this format like have been in recent formats. Gustwalker's solid too, but I think I'm going to take the Trial here over the Bad and the Gustwalker. It's just a solid removal spell. If you play it on turn 2, you're probably killing a 2-drop, and then if you have some cartouche synergy, obviously it gets a lot better. Right now we can return all of our creatures with Dawn, so I'm not kind of trying to do that exactly. It does factor into my decision slightly if cards are close, but I'm not going to try to build a whole deck filled with creatures with 2 power or less just because of Dawn and Dusk, for that matter. But, you know, the more of them I get, it doesn't hurt. Okay. Supply Caravan, Wasteland Scorpion. Ooh, Soul Stinger. What I think the best card in this pack is Emberhorn Minotaur, but I don't think it's a ton better than like Soul Stinger or Wasteland Scorpion or Ret Crop Spearmaster. I do like Soul Stinger. I like that, you know, it's flexible. It's a 4-mana 2/3 or a 4-mana 4/5, but if it's the 2/3, it gets to put -1/-1 counters on things when it dies. Wasteland Scorpion's a nice guy with Death Touch. Neither of them are zombies. It's worth noting. I guess I can get the Scorpion back with Dusk Till Dawn, and I do think these 2 cards are close, so let's get the Scorpion. See? There's a tiebreaker there. Okay. Another Scorpion, or those who serve Enigma Drakes here. basically I'm choosing between whether I want to cut white or black right here. I'm going to try to cut white, I think, just because I can do a better job of it. And this is a fine card anyway. It's not a lot worse than Wasteland Scorpion. So we're up to 3 zombies. We would not mind seeing some zombie cards. I know we passed the 2-mana 2/2 mummy who taps things when other mummy or zombie. It's a mummy too when it comes into play, but that's about it that we've seen. Okay, well I like Winged Shepherd a lot. You know, you can cycle it early and then late game it actually turns into something. I hate Approach of the Second Sun. I don't think it's playable at all. It's just too slow, even in a world filled with cycling. You're probably dead by the time you would have won the game with it. Seraph of the Suns is okay, but I don't think it is what our deck wants. I'd rather have a card that does something at all stages of the game, and the Shepherd will do that. So will Unburden, incidentally, but I like Shepherd even more. Okay, well here's a card that cares about zombies. There's also Supernatural Stamina, which is a pretty good combat trick, especially with a creature like Gravedigger, who gets to do the Enter the Battlefield trigger again. But maybe let's take Amonkhet's name and see if we can get there on zombies. Okay, Sacred Cat's fine. It's not a card I love, certainly, but it is a zombie when it becomes back as an embalmed creature. So I will take it. Black is actually seeming a little less open than white is at this point. All of our creatures survive dusk still, except for our Winged Shepherd, so that's not a bad thing. Okay, Festering Mummy is okay. I don't love it. But I like it better than everything else we see here. So Festering Mummy it is. And he is a zombie. Ooh, Binding Mummy came back. So did Anointer Priest. That's actually a pretty good sign about white. We're going to take the Mummy. I like it more than the Priest. Even though the Priest has Embalm and can gain me a little bit of life and all that. The Binding Mummy, if we're trying to be an aggressive zombie deck, Binding Mummy is a nice thing to have because it lets you tap things down. And we'll take a Cartouche of Solidarity. And a Spearmaster. Okay, well, I guess white was just sort of thin in those packs because we picked up a bunch of playable white cards at the end of that pack that I'm pretty happy about. Fling. So, zombie, zombie sometimes, zombie, 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 and zombie. So we're doing good on the zombie count already. We have a powerful... I'm not quite ready to call this card a bomb just because it is a narrow removal spell. Sometimes it won't do anything to the opponent, and that's not exactly where we want to be. This pack is weak for us. Dispossess is terrible. I've already said it before. If you watch my limited review, it's basically the worst card in the whole set, so don't draft it. These sorts of cards are already bad, where you get to look through your opponent's whole deck and their whole library, and you just paid mana to do it, meaning he basically wasted mana. But this only lets you choose artifacts, and there's so few in this set that it's pretty pointless. So yeah, Defiant Great Maw is a good card if we were in that deck. Lay Claim is a good card if we're in that deck. We've got a Mummy here. There's also a Supply Caravan, and the only other black card is Dune Beetle. But yeah, I think Lay Claim's the best card in this pack. In a vacuum for us, I think we're just going to take Binding Mummy. Certainly not exciting, but when our other two choices are Dune Beetle and Supply Caravan, I'm going to take the Binding Mummy. Ooh, Trial of Zeal is very good. New Perspectives and Trial of Knowledge are both reasonable too. So if black's not open enough, red seemed to be reasonably open. And Trial of Zeal is a strong enough card to make me consider either trying to pick up an Evolving Wilds for it, especially because we have a Cartouche, or to maybe even shift completely into red. There's an Evolving Wilds right here, incidentally. I mean, those who serve Miasmic Mummy and Impeccable Timing are all reasonable, and so is Wasteland Scorpion, but should I just go the right way and take Wasteland Scorpion? The responsible way, I should say, because splashing in this format's hard, and there are playable black cards here. So, yeah, okay, I'll take the Scorpion. I convinced myself. Talked myself down from that ledge. Hello. That's for us right there, and it's a very good card. Wouldn't mind Unwavering Initiate or another Scorpion coming back to us, or even the Vizier. But start to finish is super good. It's a removal spell. That's not something we have a ton of other than our big board sweeper. Also gives us another card with Aftermath, so that's cool. Okay. Ooh, Glorious End. That's so bad, limited. So Cursed Minotaur is a solid zombie. We don't have the cycling thing going. Otherwise, Faith of the Devoted would be awesome. And I like Cursed Minotaur a lot more than Sparring Mummy, so I'm going to take the Cursed Minotaur. If we had creatures with Exert, Sparring Mummy gets to be a little bit better. Okay, so are we at enough zombies that I'm like, sure, give me another Innoketra's Name? I think we might be. 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5, 6. We're already at 7 zombies. Our other options are Gustwalker, which is fine, and Supply Caravan, but I think I'm going to take another Innoketra's Name. Although, it is pretty likely to wheel. Who else is going to be this hard into zombies? So maybe I should just take the Gustwalker. Yeah, I'm going to take the Gustwalker. I'm going to be able to get another Innoketra's Name if I want it. Okay. Vizier of Remedies or another zombie. The Vizier has a very real effect in this format, and it's, you know, a 2-drop. But I'm kind of trying to force zombies here, see if that works, you know, in the early days of this format. Okay, here I think I do take Anointer Priest. Well, maybe just another Cursed Minotaur, huh? Horde of the Broken Lands is solid if you can cycle a lot. We cannot. I guess maybe I want the Minotaur more. How much Embalm do we have going on? Not a ton. Just our Sacred Cat, basically. This will gain us life too, though. It makes tokens. These 3 cards are all sort of unexciting, but they're all reasonable too, so it's sort of a hard choice. Yeah, I'll take the Minotaur. Okay, here we have another Winged Shepherd, and I think I just take it for the same reason I took the other one. Even though there's an Anointer Priest there, the cycling is really strong. I'll take Dune Beetle here, I think, over Supply Caravan. I do like the Caravan. Let's take the Caravan. I don't know if it'll make the cut. I've liked it in decks that aren't quite as low curve as this one, you know. If we end up with enough creatures with Enter the Battlefield abilities, though, like the Caravan and like the Gravedigger, that combat trick that we passed does get better. Okay, well, here we'll take Painful Lesson, which I don't think I want to play in this deck. I have enough cycling. Well, I have 2 cards with it, but that's enough for me. So we still have a large number of creatures who come back to us. What's fun is we can like cycle our Wasteland Scorpions in the early game, use Dusk to blow up our opponent's board, and then use Dawn to get back all the stuff we cycled. I will take Minotaur Sure Shot. Like in an ideal world, like I wouldn't hate not playing Sacred Cat or Festering Mummy. And I want more zombie payoffs. I mean, I have the Binding Mummies, who are fine, especially when you're trying to just get in for damage. And I have one Innoketra's Name. I think we need to prioritize taking one a little more than I did in that pack, where I sort of gave up on it. Okay, here's a Sparring Mummy, who I don't love. I'll stick him here for now. He's really only good. He's not even ever good, really. He has a tiny bit of upside if you have Exert going on. Oh, there's another Supply Caravan. Definitely not playing 2 Supply Caravans, and probably not playing Sparring Mummy, despite his creature type. What we really want is the Black, White, Gold card or the Zombie Lord. And that is not what we see here. So that's unfortunate. The packs we've been opening have been so mediocre. Well, except for our first one. Well, it even was, other than Dusk Till Dawn. I'd probably take Splendid Agony. It's an okay removal spell. Pitiless Vizier is great if you're in a cycling deck. I've enjoyed that a lot. Cartouche of Solidarity is okay, but we could use the removal. We'll take the removal spell here. Okay, another Trial of Ambition. An Electrify. I guess I'll take another Trial of Ambition. That does increase the value of cartouches, which we already have one of. I could take Sacred Cat or Those Who Serve, but I think having more removal is going to be slightly better. So if we see Innoketra's Name, I think we need to snap it up because we have a lot of zombies. If we see the Zombie Lord, we need to snap him up because we have a lot of zombies. As it stands, we have a little bit of zombie synergy, but we're not really like getting there. This has zombie payoffs, but I don't like it at all. You can try to mill your opponent or yourself with it, but this format, the graveyard can just be fuel for your opponent. And our deck actually doesn't have a lot of graveyard fuel, other than, I guess, maybe the after. We do have 2 cards with Aftermath, and but I still don't think I want it. I don't know if I'd rather have Renewed Faith, which I think is just a decent little cycling card, or another Spear Master. Oh, there's another Splendid Agony. I'll just take that. We have a lot of 3s, that's for sure. We have a lot of cycling in the end, actually. Not a lot, but more than I was thinking we had between the 2 Scorpions and the 2 Shepherds. Probably not playing Supply Caravan. There's Trial of Solidarity, but here's also Amonkhet's Name. And another Binding Mummy as well. Black is just gone from this pack. Do I want another Trial? This is a good one, and we do have a lot of creatures. This pumps our zombies, but this does the exact same thing, except it also gives them Vigilance, and it costs 1 more mana, yes. It's also not an instant, that's true, but I think Trial of Solidarity is still just going to be better than either of these 2 cards, both of which I'd be happy to have, but Trial it is. Wow, that is a pretty late on-crop Crasher. That's a great card. Well, I guess I take another Binding Mummy. I'll be tapping down a lot of creatures and trying to attack with their help. 4th Binding Mummy. I don't know if I want a 4th one. I mean, it's fine 2-drop, I guess. Cartouche of Zeal is not the cartouche in our color. So, probably not going to be playing those 2 cards. Other than that, I'm not sure. But yeah, Binding Mummy is a thing. Wouldn't mind if I could actually splash that, but we haven't picked up any fixing. It's few and far between. I'm just going to take another zombie, though. The Binding Mummy, again, number 4. Okay, this is a mummy who can, a zombie who can fly. So I'm going to take it. And there's another one of those. Also another Binding Mummy. It seems, the Binding Mummy's not great. His payoff isn't good unless you're actually attacking. But I think he's reasonable. We definitely have some trimming to do. We did not get there on zombie synergies, but I feel like our deck is still reasonably powerful. I'm going to take Protection of the Heckma. Seems like maybe it could be an okay sideboard card, but... So these all came back to me. I'm going to take a Dune Beetle for the sideboard. It's a good thing to side in against a bunch of X1s. Embalmer's Tools came back. We could think about running it and trying to mill our opponent out, I guess. It is something I want to try. It seems like it's bad, but our deck definitely got a critical mass of zombies. I thought I was going to get another Amonkhet's Name, and I passed that one. And oh, we did it. I was about to say, it doesn't look like it's going to happen, but it happened. So our deck is just like a black-white, go wide. Some of your creatures happen to be zombies kind of deck. And Dusk Till Dawn is actually going to be pretty good in it. Caravan it is. We can think about putting in Embalmer's Tools, but we already have some cutting we need to do. 4 Binding Mummies. I guess if I have 2 or 3 in play, every zombie I play taps down 2 or 3 things, and that gets to be pretty nice. Especially when you have zombies with Menace. But yeah, we didn't get the uncommon zombie payoffs, which would have been nice. We got the common ones. Plenty of the common ones. Okay. So, Cartouche is solid. I may or may not leave it in my deck, though. I think we need the Trials because we're short on removal. It's not the greatest removal, but it does get a little better because we have the Cartouche, so we kind of have that weird thing going on. I like the Blighted Bats more than those who serve in most matchups. But let's see how many zombies we actually have real quickly. The answer is a lot. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12 zombies. I wouldn't hate cutting a few of them. I wouldn't. Down here we have a couple Trials, a couple Splendid Agonies, 3 Trials actually. These 2 cards are 2 of the best cards in our deck, so they're not going anywhere, but it's hard. This is a hard deck to trim. Like if I'd gotten a ton of zombie payoffs, it'd be easy to say, well, let's just cut some of the cards that are like fine but aren't zombies, like the Spearmaster, for example. But we didn't get that many zombie synergies, and the Spearmaster is really, really good with pump effects because he can get first strike when he attacks. And we have 3 different ways of pumping the whole board. So, kind of leaning towards cutting the Cartouche. I think it's one of the weaker cards in our deck, despite the fact that we have 3 trials, so it pains me a little bit to cut it. I mean, I guess we could think about cutting 1 Splendid Agony too, but we have a bunch of cards we need to cut. And so I think we're going to lose the Cartouche. Still have 3 more cards we need to cut. So I think I am going to trim... Those Who Serve is better in some matchups, but Blighted Bat is better in more of them, I think. So I'm going to cut a Those Who Serve. Leave 1 in, for now at least. These Winged Shepherds. Can think about cutting 1 of them. And I don't hate that. Yeah, that seems okay. Tell me what you'd cut in the comments, because I'm having a hard time deciding. I guess we have 4 Binding Mummies. Maybe we don't need 4 of them, but I do like having 2 drops. But yeah, we probably don't need 4 Binding Mummies. I think this is probably better. I think this is what I'm going to go with. That was not easy to trim down to where we needed it to be. We're going to sort by color. Well, you're technically just all white, but yeah, you're both. You could think about Embalmer's Tools, but even with 12 zombies, I don't love the idea. It's worth thinking about siding in games where we sort of get locked out of being able to attack or something. But actually I cut down to 11 zombies anyway. Yeah, we have more white 2-drops. But I think I'd rather go about 9-8. I think that's a little better. All right, this will be our zombie-ish deck. For some reason, Magic Online thinks split cards are colorless, but that's okay. All right, well, I will see you guys in the first match. Okay, here we are in our first match of an Amonkhet Draft. We would like to play first. And this is a reasonable hand. Trial of Ambition will probably get us something. We've got a couple zombies and Amonkhet's name in our hand. All that seems pretty reasonable. I'll probably actually get to play, since I'm on the play, my Binding Mummy first. And then cast Trial of Ambition, most likely. I mean, it depends. Opponent could have a 1-drop, I guess. Does not look that way, though, so that's good news for us. Okay, so I'm just going to play Binding Mummy. So, I mean, you know, killing a 2-drop with a 2-drop enchantment isn't a terrible place to be, if that's, in fact, what we end up doing. If our opponent doesn't play anything, which they didn't, then we're going to hold on to it. And that means it's going to sort of progressively get better, because it'll trade for something a little bit better than what it would have otherwise. So we're going to attack with our Binding Mummy. I'm going to play the Cursed Minotaur, even though I'm not going to be able to tap anything with it. It's just going to be a way better attacker. Impeccable timing. Okay. Amonkhet's name would not have saved my dude there, so if it would have, I might have used it, but it would not have. Looks like our opponent's also a zombie deck, given their color pair anyway. No, that is not a zombie. But I do think I just want to kill that with Trial of Ambition. Okay, we've got Start to Finish. So I could think about using at some point soon. I can just use the start half and then the finish half on my turn. And the start half is an instant, by the way. So sometimes you can even kill things with the instant half of it too. So we get in for that. And then, yeah, we're going to play Trial of Ambition. Get rid of the Crop Mate. Then play a Swamp. I have the option to cycle my Wasteland Scorpion, and I might think about it, depending on what my opponent does on their turn. Top Crop Elite. Yeah, that's a scary card. It can do some stuff. Do I want to cycle my Scorpion? No, I think I'm going to hold on to him. He seems fine to cast here, and I think I will cast him. We're going to get in for 3 more, thanks to Menace. We'll play Wasteland Scorpion. Of course, he can't block and trade with Top Crop Elite, but he can block and trade with a lot of things in this format, including the 6/7 Hexproofer. And that's one of the best uses for that Scorpion. So we're 1 land away from being able to do both halves of this, which is pretty nice. I'd rather use it on something big and scary, obviously. So basically, what this turns into when you can cast both halves in the same turn is create a 1/1 White Warrior creature token and destroy target creature. It's kind of how you can look at it. And that's a pretty decent card. And it's even better than that because of the flexibility it has. Sometimes you can use start and then use finish much later in the game. And that's pretty cool. Where are the rest of my zombies? No big creature played, so they probably have removal of some kind or another. There's our Fan Bearer. Don't mind that at all. So I'm going to attack with both of these guys and see what happens. Vizier of Deferment. Okay. Okay. Good news is we can use Amonkhet excuse me, Amokhet's name here if we want to. Oh no, he's just going to make it so that guy can't attack. I probably won't use Amokhet's name then. You can keep I mean, he's going to have his Vizier of Deferment die. I'm guessing. Maybe not. Maybe he'll take 2. So I'll probably play Fanbearer and then cast the start half of start to finish at the end of my opponent's turn. He's just going to take 2. So Fanbearer. And I will end my turn. And we get our Minotaur back. So our opponent can attack, exert, and hit us for 6. Which would be pretty gross, but it's not that bad. I mean, we can swing back for a lot more than that, theoretically. Ooh, Cartouche of Ambition. Okay. That's annoying. That is annoying. Now it's getting to the point where it might be worth it to just kill the Top Crop Elite. Weakening my poor Minotaur. I mean, I do have Fanbearer to lock down other creatures later on in this game. May attack with both and exert here. He is going to do that. And that will hit us for 7 if he exerts. He is exerting. I think I am probably going to use start at the end of my opponent's turn and then finish. If he attacks with everything, we can also get in for a lot of damage. What will it be? It'll be 4, 5, not a ton. Okay, he's not exerting. Changed his mind. We take 3, opponent gains 3. And they end their turn. Okay. So I'm going to cast Start. Which actually is pretty good with Amokhet's name as well, by the way. And I think... How much damage do I do here? Finish is a sorcery, yeah. If I attack with everything and then pump them all, this is 4. This will do 3, so that's 7. This will do 3, so that's 10. 11, 12, 13. That's 14 damage is how much we would get in for. I think I do attack with everything except the fan bearer, so we're not going to quite get in for that lethal amount of damage. Yeah, I think that's my plan. And then maybe use finish in the second main phase. I guess I should tap down this Vizier of Deferment while I'm at it. I still have mana for finish. And this way I can just get in for the damage and I don't need to use Amonkhet's name. So we're going to get in for the damage. Then I'm going to cast Finish. I'm going to kill that. And I'm going to sacrifice one of my warriors. So this could theoretically set up a big Amonkhet's name turn next turn. We also have Winged Shepherd who could close out the game if we draw the 6th land for it anyway. Another Takrop Elite. That's what I wanted to see. Well, we do have Fan Bearer. Okay. I think I'm attacking with everything this time and using Amonkhet's name if I have to. So say he double blocks this to kill it. We get in for 3, 6, 7. That's pretty good. And those will both be dead. So that's my plan. Let's attack with everybody, including the Fan Bearer. So we're going to kill both of his creatures, you know, assuming he doesn't do anything here. And do a bunch of damage. And my Fan Bearer also won't be dying. So we drop our opponent to 2. Yeah, I think we play Wasteland Scorpion just to try to make sure we can get in for 2. I'm pretty sure we will. Our opponent knows we have Amonkhet's name now. That's the bad news, but it did win us that game. When people don't know you have it is when you can really have those explosive turns like that where you just take your opponent down all the way to 2. Okay. Don't really think there's anything. I mean, another Winged Shepherd isn't something we desperately need or anything. So let's just roll with this again. Now that's a bad hand. 3 white cards, 1 black card, and 3 swamps. So we're gonna mulligan. Ooh, this one's moderately better. Thanks to cycling, it gets to be okay-ish. We do get to scry as well. I think I'm gonna keep it and pray that scrying hits a land, and it did. So that's good news. We do need to hit more lands, but we can at least scry away a Wasteland Scorpion if we have to. Yeah, that first hand was probably the better one in the end. I think probability said we'll probably get a better hand, but I don't think we did. We probably will cycle away 1 Wasteland Scorpion. I kind of doubt we'll be doing much with Fan Bearer right this second. Nah, just Trespasser's Curse does not concern me a ton, although our deck does make a bunch, does try to go pretty wide. Okay, since we drew a land, I don't actually think I'm going to cycle them anymore. I'm just going to attack with this Fan Bearer. There's something to be said about leaving it back and then tapping down whatever he plays, but all I'm going to be attacking with next turn, even if I do that, is Fan Bearer, so it doesn't really seem worth it to me. I don't really like this card very much. I've yet to be impressed by it. Ooh, that's a card I am impressed by. It's luckily only a 3/2, but still. 3/2 with lifelink is not really something I was hoping I'd get to see. Okay. You know, I could hold up mana so I could tap him down, but I think developing my board is probably a little better, and just developing it so I can trade with the Amonkhet. So I think I'm going to play a Wasteland Scorpion. And in my turn, and the plan is just to block the Amonkhet. It's not very it's not a very fancy plan. The good news is, like, even with a combat trick, Wasteland Scorpion takes it down. Unless, well, that's not a combat trick. It means my opponent doesn't gain the life now. That's the flip side of that. Okay. Wouldn't mind drawing a land so I can play, well, that'll work. That will work. Let me get rid of the creature. And we attack for 1. Probably play Binding Mummy next, if only because I would like it if, since my opponent has 0 creatures right now, if every time I play a zombie I can tap something and swing for a few. Okay, well, we're going to attack. And I do think I play Binding Mummy for the same reason I just mentioned. It'll sort of set us up to do more damage later, since our opponent doesn't have any creatures in play right now. This does basically negate what we just did, but more creatures we play, the more damage we can do. So in the long run, we'll be able to outrace Trespasser's Curse. Okay. Well, he's going to get tapped when I play my Cursed Minotaur. We're also setting up for a nice future Amonkhet's name, but we're not going to do that just yet. We're just going to play this Minotaur, tap this guy down. So we have a whole board of zombies, which means Amonkhet's name is going to be especially potent. If we could play our own Spearmaster soon, that would be good too. Obviously, so we'll get in for the 3. So our opponent can, of course, hit us for 4 here, but he would have to exert his guy, and that would just sort of play into my hand here with the board. I have, you know, ways of tapping creatures down, whether or not I draw another zombie. So yeah, and Amonkhet's name right now makes it so I do 3, 8. Wait, that math is wrong. 3, 7, 12. We can hit for 12 right now, which is in fact a lot. Kind of expecting him to exert his guy, but if he has nothing else going on in his hand, I guess he really can't afford to. He has to leave the blocker back. But then if I draw another zombie, he feels really bad. So he's, you know, I don't know what's going on in his hand, but it kind of seems like he's flooding out since he hasn't cast anything in forever. He's going to attack. Not exerting it. We'll take 3. Ooh, that's a lot of mana. Seraph of the Suns. Okay, that's kind of a problem. The good news is we can just lock it down with Fanbearer and such, but that is a large creature. Okay. I think I just attack with my Minotaur. Then play my Spearmaster. And leave mana up to tap down the Seraph. And then that can set up a very potent, especially if our opponent decides to attack again, a very potent Amonkhet's name turn. Opponent goes up to 15. It's almost worth thinking about waiting to tap until the end of my opponent's turn. Because then I know exactly how much damage I can do, basically. Like if my opponent plays one blocker, I could just tap it. But I think we should just tap the indestructible dude now. I'm cool with you not attacking. Your own Binding Mummy. I'm less cool with that, although... And Talkrop Elite. Okay. Okay. Planes. Do I want to cycle this Scorpion? I think I do. Hoping I'd draw a 2-drop zombie there. Didn't happen. Okay, then. I think we attack with everything but the Fanbearer. And we are going to exert. Do I also attack with my Fanbearer? No, I don't think we do. I think this is good. Opponent has 0 cards in hand, so that's good to know. We blow our opponent out a bunch of different ways if he decided to block. So that's 4, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We can get in for 13 if we use Amonkhet's name right this second. Is that right? This will be 5 damage, 10 damage. Actually, it'll be 14 damage. Man, that seems worth it, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's do it. We're not trading for any cards or anything, but maybe my math is wrong and I win anyway, but I don't think so. I think it's just 14. Drops our opponent down to 1. Yep. Okay. So our opponent can also hit us pretty hard right now. But if he does, he's dead a lot of ways. So that's the upside we have. Wouldn't mind drawing our White Trial or another Amonkhet's name right now. I think I tap... Is it actually better to tap Talkrop Elite right now? Because Talkrop Elite will add 3... Yeah, it might be better to tap Talkrop Elite. Although the Seraph is a better blocker, so that's worth thinking about. We have a creature with Menace, too, so our opponent has to leave... They actually have to leave 3 creatures back because of Fanbearer. I can tap down 1 creature and thus make it so none of his creatures can block. So, and then if we draw a zombie too, we're in great shape. I was sent a message. Okay, we win. Well, don't know if we were necessarily going to win that one, especially since we went land, land, Gustwalker. That would have closed out the game theoretically, but we had a pretty ugly few turns there. So, all right, that is the first match. I'll see you in the next one. All right, we're going into the second match of an Amonkhet Draft. We have a bad hand that we're going to send back. It's our first time we've seen Dusk Dawn, though. The reason this hand's bad is because we have all of our white 1 and 2 drops and no white mana. Okay, this one's also bad. We're going to go down to 5. This one's reasonable. I mean, what do you expect from a 5-card hand? We don't really want another Plains, though. But, yeah, not in great shape to start this match. Hey, that helps. Turn 1 Fanbearer. Nefcrop Entangler. Okay, we drew black, too. I don't really think it's worth trading for the Entangler. I'm just going to play Binding Mummy and in my turn. Which means my opponent will be able to attack, but that's okay. I wonder if our opponent's like actual blue-red spells or just a blue-red good stuff deck. Because that's sort of the ideal archetype for blue-red that it can best make use of is spells, but sometimes, you know, you don't end up with any synergy. Ooh. It looks like an aggro deck, actually, because this guy is a beast. We're in for a beating right here. Assuming he exerts this. If he doesn't, I would trade my Binding Mummy for it. He may exert both of his creatures. Really? Yeah, I think you should exert. He's only exerting the Crasher. Okay. We will take 5. So since he's been exerted, I don't need to be super defensive on this next turn. Because he can't do that again until a turn later. And then I'll tap him down. So playing my Minotaur here is probably the right play. And my opponent is disconnected. All right. Opponent has returned. We're still taking 5. Just as was the case when he left. We go down to 15. Okay. I'm going to attack with Binding Mummy. Kind of thinking about playing Wasteland Scorpion instead so I can actually get some use out of the ability to tap something. But now I'm going to play the Minotaur. We'll tap that again. If he has another on-crop crasher, I'm going to be very sad. I can tell you that much. That card is good. Drafted at least one in the only draft I've done so far that I didn't record, and it was pretty awesome. He's gonna Nephcrop Entangler and Exert. So I'm just gonna take the 3. This time I think we do need to leave 2 mana up to tap down his on-crop crasher. So that's something to keep in mind. So I'm not going to play this Scorpion. In fact, I might cycle it. Haven't decided yet. I'm going to attack with both of these. Your opponent have Gale Strike or something. Gale Strike would be really obnoxious right here. No, just Deem Worthy. Cycling it. This is when I wish I had Amonkhet's name to at least keep Deem Worthy from killing my creature. Oh, you're going to kill my Fan Bearer. That's gonna hurt. That makes sense. So the on-crop crasher is now going to be back online, smashing us, making a creature unable to block. Opponent does go to 13, but now we are gonna play our Wasteland Scorpion. So at least we make him have to exert on-crop crasher. If he gets to attack and not be exerted, then that's when things really aren't going well. Okay. He didn't exert it. I don't know if that was accidental or if he has a trick. Either way, I think we try to kill the thing. He may be about to play something even bigger and scarier, but like on-crop crasher is pretty scary. Glyph Keeper. Okay, great. Yeah, that's... I couldn't have done anything about it anyway. I wouldn't even be able to tap it down, and that's really obnoxious. I am going to attack with Cursed Minotaur, though. Glyph Keeper, ruining my life. Drop our opponent to 10. And then we're going to play Blighted Bat. The good news is, if we ever do draw a removal spell, we can first play a zombie, get that ability countered, and then use removal. But guess what? This also has Embalm, because why not? We can kill it in combat if we get Amonkhet's name. But that's about it. We will take 5 in the air, sir. We can swing back for 5 evasive damage, but we're so dead on the backswing. Oh, good. Shimmer Scale Drake, too. Yeah, Binding Mummy. Let's do a whole lot of good here. Yeah, we're just dead. Oh, no, we do have 1 flying blocker, don't we? We just have to not attack with it. And hope we draw, like, Amonkhet's name. That's, like, the only thing we can do here. If he exerts this, yeah, I need to have the blocking. So I'm just going to attack with my Minotaur and drop our opponent to 7. I'm going to hold on to this land. Pretend like it's impeccable timing. These Binding Mummies have proven to be pretty good, like when you're the beatdown. And we kind of, in this match, we're not really, but they've still made this match much more respectable than it would have otherwise been, because we would have just been brick-walled if it weren't for them. Yeah, I was going to say, you should probably attack with your Entangler as well, because I basically have to block him too. Except I don't, actually. So I think I'm just going to take 5 here and hope my opponent doesn't have a way to burn me the rest of the way. Because if I draw Amonkhet's name, I have a chance to just kill my opponent here. If I block, that chance gets a lot smaller. We actually have lethal on the board, period. So unless our opponent has removal or a way to kill us, he has to hope we don't draw a zombie, because we can tap down 2 creatures when we do play one. So we actually have hope here despite what we're looking at. Although it kind of seems like our opponent is trying to figure out how it is that we die this turn. Opponent has been tanking for quite a while. Hopefully I'll edit out some of this dead time. I'm wondering if he made a mistake somehow. In attacking and now realizes he's dead if I draw a zombie, but I still have to draw one. I only have 8 actually left in my deck. But maybe he just swung with all his creatures. I don't know. Okay. Looks like these things are all happening. We go to 2. What does our opponent do with their second main phase? They play a Labyrinth Guardian. And an Illusory Wrappings. Okay. Now they're good. Yeah, we can't kill them. We can only swing for 4. So what are we going to draw? Yeah, that's not going to do it. Amonkhet's name also wouldn't have done it. No. Yes, actually it would have. No, it wouldn't have, because his Labyrinth Guardian could have blocked. I wouldn't have also had Trial of Ambition in my hand if I'd drawn Amonkhet's name, so we don't need to show him we have that trial. We're just going to pass. We're just going to concede. Okay. I don't think we really have any answers here. That Dusk would have been really good. All of my creatures would have survived except my Minotaur, and it would have killed most of my opponent's creatures. I don't know why my chat comes back every time. I would like to play first. This is a good hand. 2 drop, 3 drop, 3 drop. I'm happy with that. What we really don't want to see is Glyph Keeper again. Although, like I said, at least we do have Binding Mummy, who can have that be the trigger that gets countered and then use a real removal spell on it. Then the question is, do I play Blighted Bat, or Ret Crop Spearmaster, Blighted Bat? Okay, he can loot now, which is kind of annoying. I think I'm actually going to play the Minotaur. Tap down the Battlefield Scavenger. It's actually rummaging, technically. Looting's when you draw and then discard. Discarding and then drawing is rummaging. As in Rummaging Goblin. So, excuse me for misspeaking. I will attack with the Mummy. And we have a string of creatures who are going to tap down our opponent's creatures, which is pretty good. Plus, Amonkhet's name to hopefully put a fork in it. Wouldn't mind drawing a 4th land so I can give Blighted Bat haste, but what are you going to do? Do you exert your Scavenger here? I didn't think about what a good combination Binding Mummy and Cursed Minotaur is. This is an example of like how playing the format sometimes, you know, if you're in an aggressive zombie deck, those two together is pretty potent. It's not like incredible or anything, but they do a lot of work. You know, making one blocker unable to block is pretty real. Hey, there's another Minotaur. All right, let's attack with both of these guys and play another Minotaur. See if my opponent has something planned for me right here. If we can get wide enough with these zombies, Innocatcher's Name is going to be real good. So we're going to attack with both of these. Gale Strike? No, Winds of Rebuke. Okay, well, I'm okay with that. Milled one of my Innocatcher's Name and a Gust Walker. We get in for 2. Then we're just going to replay him. Does, of course, slow us down. But that's okay. That thing's exerted on top of everything else, so... Man, if he hadn't bounced it, we would have had 2 Cursed Minotaurs in play. And that would have been really good. Because our opponent would have an exerted creature and we'd have a zombie. So we'd have been swinging for 8, most likely, next turn. Okay, he's going to deem worthy, though, so it wouldn't have been 8 anyway. Alright, goodbye, Minotaur. Okay. Well, I'm going to play another one. Minotaur, that is. Attack for 2. Play the Minotaur. Tap down the creature who's already tapped. Sure, we'll use its ability even though it doesn't do anything. So next we can play Blighted Bat with haste. Which isn't too bad if our opponent doesn't have a flyer in play. Cycling a Desert Cerodon. Wonder if he has the draw 2 cards with cycling from your graveyard thing right now, because that would be mean. Getting back Deem Worthy would not be nice. He's not exerting it this time, but we're still going to take it. Illusory Wrappings again? Why you gotta be like that? Okay. I'm actually more inclined to play the Spearmaster right this second. Worth keeping in mind, we can still pump this to 2 power when we need to with Innocatcher's Name. So yeah, I'm going to play the Spearmaster here. So if we draw another land, we can play Blighted Bat and Innocatcher's Name in the same turn, which will be a lot of damage depending on what happens, because we'll tap down one of my opponent's creatures because we played a zombie. So, and everything will get... Well, this will only get +1, but it'll get another boost and first strike because I'm going to exert it. Glyph Keeper. That is not what I was hoping to see. That is definitely not what I was hoping to see. Okay. Okay. We did not draw the land we needed to be able to do... We can play the bat, but we can't attack with the bat, basically. Start to finish is okay. Can it help us go wide enough to try to kill our opponent at least? So I guess I'm going to play Blighted Bat here. Not going to bother giving it haste, though. I'm going to leave 2 mana up in case I need to use Inokhetra's Name defensively. I'm going to... Well, actually, I don't have to use it defensively. I think I'm going to attack with my Spear guy. And if he blocks it, I'll use Inokhetra's Name and kill the Glyph Keeper in combat. That seems pretty reasonable. Oh, he's not going to block it, though. But I think we still attack. Do we need to exert? I'm actually not going to exert. There's no reason to. He'll still kill it in combat, whether he exerts or not. I guess if he exerts, he stays alive. But I don't really care if he does. So we're not going to exert him. Okay, he's just going to go for the block, which is a little surprising. All right. I will end my turn. I probably should have attacked with everything there. I kind of got psyched out by how good Glyph Keeper is, which it takes a lot to... Yeah, he needs 2 more mana before he can embalm it. But I should have attacked with everything because with the help of Inokhetra's Name, they would have killed everything, basically. Shimmerscale Drake. That's annoying. We can tap it down, though, when we play Blighted Bat. Swing for 4 in the air. It's not too bad. And if he attacks with his Scavenger here, we swing for even more. In fact, if he attacks with his Scavenger here, we get in for 4, 6, 10. No, our opponent's dead if he attacks with his Scavenger here. So let's hope he does. Be aggressive. Oh. Darn. Okay. Now we can play Blighted Bat. Tap down Shimmerscale Drake. I think we do attack with everything here and use Inokhetra's Name. It's going to do a ton of damage. It's not going to quite kill our opponent, but it'll do enough. Even our Minotaur will get in for some damage. If he takes it all, it'll kill him, but surely he blocks the Binding Mummy, right? Because he is still a zombie, believe it or not. Kapow. So we kill the Scavenger. We get in for a ton. All our creatures are zombies right now. So that's 10. So drops our opponent to 2, and they lose their Scavenger. So that's pretty good. And we have start to finish ready to be cast. Both halves in 1 turn. Plus 2 flyers. Our opponent only has 1 flying blocker. So he's got to pull something out here to keep us from killing him. This has been a pretty potent deck. With Inokhetra's Name, like... We didn't get any of the, like, what I would think of a really tier 1 zombie synergies, but our deck has been incredible with Inokhetra's Name. Every time we cast it, we win, basically. So, of course... There are other games where it's been in our hand and we didn't want to cast it because the board state wasn't such that it was worth casting, but, you know, that's something you always have to keep in mind when evaluating a card like Inokhetra's Name. Like, well, every time I cast it, I win, but yes, but sometimes your board is such that it's useless. Hey, we got Dusk till Dawn, but we got, like, no creatures. We do have removal, but I think we got to send it back. Oh, really? Really? All lands? Okay, as far as a 5-card hand goes, this one's reasonable. I'll take both Blighted Bats, too. Oh, not what I wanted to be doing there. Mulliganing down to 5. That first hand was a kind of hand where, like, if I drew all creatures, I was in great shape. And I guess I could have just held on to Dusk. or dawn, whatever it is. The half that I can cast from my hand. I guess it's dusk. That makes sense. No 2-drop from us. Those Binding Mummies have been better than I expected them to be, too. Especially in conjunction with Cursed Minotaur, like I mentioned earlier. So we're going to take 2 here. Opponent is not exerting. Okay, there's a Fan Bearer. Somehow I'm in combat. Good thing I stopped it. Fan Bearer is nice, but for now I think I'm just gonna play Cursed Minotaur. And if he exerts his Nephcrop Entangler, I think I just trade for it. Then play Fan Bearer and Blighted Bat next turn. Man, the Deem Worthies have been killing a lot of Minotaurs. Okay. Wouldn't mind if he exerted them both this turn, because that gives me time for my Fan Bearer to get set up. But he's not exerting, unfortunately. Just getting in for 4. Hey, there's a Binding Mummy. Because I have the mana to do it, I think I'm going to play Fan Bearer and Blighted Bat instead of the Binding Mummy. This can trade, well, not if this gets exerted, but it can trade otherwise. Okay. I'm going to trade for the Scavenger. Yeah, I think that seems fine-ish. It's always harder to want to do that when you've mulliganed, but especially when our opponent is increasing their card quality. But yeah, I'm going to block the Scavenger with my bat. Right. That's enough of your rummaging. We go down to 11 already, so not so good. Okay, well, I'm going to play Binding Mummy. He exerted his guy. Well, if you exerted your guy, I guess I'm going to attack for 1. Get some. Okay. Something bad's happening. Oh, yeah. Opponent's drawing cards. Not ideal when you mulligan to 5 for your opponent to be generating card advantage, even if you had started with a 7-card hand. Oh, there's some more. Well, that's sort of a trade. This is the first time our opponent's deck has looked like a blue-red spells deck. In the other matches, it's looked less spelly, I guess I'll say. I'm going to play another Binding Mummy. Well, I guess I'll attack with my first Binding Mummy first. The original. Right. Drops your opponent to 17. I'm just going to play the Binding Mummy. I want to leave mana up for Fan Bearer. And I'd also like to be able to tap down 2 creatures at once, especially if we have Inokhetra's name in our hand. Which, yeah, that's another way that Binding Mummies work out really well. When you have multiples and you play a zombie and you get to tap your opponent's dudes, and then you play Inokhetra's name, it's like super good. I was kind of hoping our opponent had flooded out, but I'm sure he got his Glyph Keeper. Yes, he did. The good news is we can actually tap it down in attack here. Not that that's great, because we have 2 different triggers, so I won't be able to tap it down when it wants to attack me, but I can tap it down when I want to attack him. So we're going to play Blighted Bat, target this once, target this twice. First one's going to get countered. We will use Binding Mummy's ability. We're going to play land, which sort of shows that we're out of gas, but this means we get in for more damage right here. We get in for 6. It also puts us in a place where Amonkhet's name can steal us another win, depending on what our opponent has planned here. Of course, we'd have to actually draw Amonkhet's name. So, opponent does seem like they're flooding a decent amount. So we will tap down the Entangler. Bash for 5. I go to 6. I'm not flooding out enough because you're playing something. These flyers, man. And illusory wrappings. And a land. Well, we're in serious trouble. Probably should have held on to that to bluff at least, right? But I think we have basically lost. Basically. Now I'm going to tap this. I'm going to double block the Nefkrop Entangler. And go to 1. We are at 1. Ooh, and now we're dead. Manticore of the Gauntlet. All right. Well, our opponent's deck was pretty good. It was a nice little control deck. And, you know, we also mulliganed to 5 in game 3. Gave our opponent, you know, some extra edge against us. That could have been useful because I could have targeted the Glyph Keeper with a tapping and then made it much smaller and made it so my Blighted Bat, at least before it had illusory wrappings, could block it. Let me update my record here, as we have just dropped down to 1-1. And I will see you guys in the next match. Okay, we're going into the final match of the Amonkhet Draft. We're 1-1, and we have a bad hand. We've been plagued by those. We're going to mulligan it away. And this one's reasonable. I haven't seen Splendid Agony all day, which is sort of weird, actually. But, yeah, sure. I'll take another creature that I can actually cast. This guy's name is Hebrew XX, which is interesting. My channel name, this name here, Nitzahon, is actually a Hebrew word, so. Another black-white deck. Ooh, that's actually... Of course, once we have Splendid Agony in our hand, our opponent's like, Vizier of Remedies. Suck it. That's not cool. Not cool at all. We have to put 2 -1 We can kill it. We have to put 2 counters on it. Ooh, that is nasty. Okay. That's very nasty. We're just gonna take that. And yeah, this Amonkhet is gonna be a problem though, for sure. Kind of feel like I just have to double block him. He's just so huge so quickly. We'll tap the Amonkhet. I mean, if we wait a turn to do it, we can double block him and still put 2 -1, put a -1/-1 counter on him so he can't kill both of our creatures. That still feels really bad. Like, really bad, but I'm not going to double block him this turn. Doesn't seem worth it. Yeah, this is spicy. Okay, we're just going to take 6. Which does not feel good. If our opponent plays another one of these -1/-1 creatures, I'm going to cry. Okay, he didn't. But he did play a 4/4. Okay. We're just going to get run over in this game? That's kind of what it's looking like. Damn. We just don't have much we can do. I mean, we're going to double block the Amonkhet and kill it, but we're still going to take at least 6. We can't really afford to let our opponent keep gaining life. And we're going to hope this works. We're going to hope that works so we can at least save one of our dudes. If it doesn't work and we get blown out here, the game's pretty much over for us. So hopefully it does. I'd really like to draw the rare that we first picked that we haven't seen. We've seen it in opening hands that we've had to mulligan. That's about it. Okay, well that actually happened. Oh, he's gravediggering it. We haven't seen our gravedigger either, have we? What's that about? Drawing a land is not where we wanted to be. Kind of feel like I might as well scoop. We're pretty close to that. But if we draw... if we draw our split card with Aftermath, we have a shot because we can kill at least our opponent's big creatures. But, yeah. We're basically in having to trade our guys' territory when we only have 2 cards in our hand, and we know our opponent has a bigger creature in his hand. That is what I'm going to do, though. I'm going to trade here, and I'm going to trade here. If he has Amonkhet's name, I'm going to cry. Oh, we got beat by that card. We still kill one of them, but we go to 3, lose both our creatures. And, well, there's that split card. That actually buys us some time. So, gives us a blocker while also letting us kill a creature. So that bought us a little bit of time. I doubt it will be enough. Ooh. Okay. Give that haste. So we have to draw another creature, basically, who can block the guy on the ground. And we have a guy in our hand who can block the guy in the air. But... no, we didn't do it. Yeah, we got stomped that game. Our opponent has several X1s, but one of them is Vizier of Remedies, so sighting in a second Splendid Agony seems like a bad call. Like a bad call. I guess Dune Beetle doesn't seem terrible since our opponent got such a fast start on us. But it's not like Dune Beetle can stop a 4-3 on turn 3 either. Nah. I think we just have to stick with what we've got. Okay, this is a reasonable hand. Yep. Fanbearer. Wouldn't mind our Fanbearer. I'm going to play our Gustwalker. One thing our deck is lacking, certainly, is like really good removal. We have our rare and our split card, the Aftermath card, and those are both pretty good. But that's about it. All right, we're going to attack. Try to attack. Our opponent may just tap down Gustwalker here. They do. Nice job, Tukey. Okay, then we're going to play Cursed Minotaur. I want to hold on to the card with cycling because I may actually want to cycle it at some point instead of playing it. If my opponent plays another big creature that I can just trade with, then obviously I'll play the Scorpion, but... right, so Baleful Amulet returns. This time it'll only be a 3-2, though, which is way easier for us to deal with. Oh, no, it will be a 4-3. What am I talking about? Still not that hard for us to deal with, though. Especially because I can just play Wasteland Scorpion. Okay, that is an interesting draw. I think I attack with my Minotaur here. He's probably just going to take it. Might as well... No, I'll just attack with the Minotaur. If he doesn't take it and he decides to double block, we would have been pretty happy there because... Yeah. So let's play the Scorpion, which means he has to start tying up mana to tap down my Scorpion if he wants to attack with his Amulet. Could have been, might have been better there to play Trial of Ambition when my opponent's board was smallish. So if they play a third creature here, it gets a little less good, and so on and so forth. But I kind of put my opponent in a place where he has to tap my his fan bearer. If he wants to attack, he has to tap my Scorpion, which means he can't be, well, or he can do that. Okay. Still didn't add more to the board, at least. All right. We take 4. Oh, we drew another Scorpion. This time I think I'm just going to attack with my Gustwalker. Not exerting. And I'm going to play another Wasteland Scorpion. Okay. I feel pretty good about seeing that. I'm going to attack with my Cursed Minotaur again. Yeah, now I'm going to attack with it because I can play the Spearmaster now. He's going to tap something. Well, yeah, right. Right. So now I may as well just attack with Gustwalker. Oh, what am I doing? That was a huge punt. I should have exerted him if I wanted to attack with him, for sure. That was really bad. I'm so good. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to play my Spearmaster. That was so bad. I was thinking this had swung again. I guess we're going to play the Trial to try to get rid of one of these guys at least, because the two of them together is a problem. Fanbearer is what I figured was going to go by the wayside. We have 2 creatures who can block the Amulet at least. So there's that. If he has a No Ketra's Name, he can blow us out again, though, of course. I can't believe I attacked with my Gustwalker. Oh. Okay, we're in trouble now. We really need to draw Dusk right now. We're just going to take this. Get Fanbearer back. Where is our Gravedigger? Come on. I know I have one. Okay, Minotaur. Not exciting. Yeah, it looks kind of like we're going to get stomped here. And unfortunately, I'm going to go 1 and 2. This will be my second subpar record in a draft in a row on this channel. I 3-0'd my first draft for the Ether Hub. 0 and 2 and 1 and 2 on this channel, most likely. I'm just going to take 2. Well, yeah, we'll just take 2. Okay, Trial of Solidarity. You do some things. Sure. Now it makes me wish I had my Cartouche in my deck. Okay, well, we're just going to attack with everybody because all of them can kill the Amonkhet in combat. Oh yeah, he can tap something. Opponent, of course, is at 27, so... Now he'll tap my Minotaur, who can block and kill it. We have a lot of the same cards in our deck. Like these splendid... Like all of these cards we have in our deck, except for Baleful Amonkhet. It's kind of funny. Yeah, okay. I'm going to trade here. Land. That's not what I was looking for. Yep. Wouldn't mind my Gravedigger right now, or Dusk. Would only kill the Amonkhet, but that's the biggest problem that we're looking at here. He's almost definitely got Amonkhet's name right now, since he didn't tap my guy. Especially if he attacks with Fanbearer, then he really, really has it. Okay, we're going to try to kill him. Chances are he has a way to keep the Amonkhet from dying, but we have to make him use it, basically. Yeah, he does. So Jero's Resolve. Bounce off each other. Well, not... My guy dies, straight up. Wow. And now... Well, we're still not quite dead. So I guess I won't scoop just yet. He can only hit us for 6. We have drawn terribly in this match. I mean, I guess it's not that bad, but just missing... Just our opponent being able to play Baleful Amonkhet on turn 3 as a 4-3 both games is like... Why couldn't I do something comparable? And another land. So we end up going 1 and 2. Hopefully I can record a draft for my own channel that's as good as some of the ones I've been doing for the Ether Hub. Somehow my luck is better over there. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And my content is sponsored in part by 5colorcombo.com, a great website for all Magic things. They have an app where you can practice drafting this format wherever you are, assuming you have your phone with you, that is. And that's a pretty cool thing. They also have a store where you can use my discount code NITSAHON5 to get a 5% discount. Thanks for watching.